Hello children. In this lecture we will discuss properties of ammonia. So you all know that all the chemical compounds are having some specific properties, and the properties of particular compounds can be divided in two types. First, physical properties, and second, chemical properties. Okay, students. So physical properties are the external properties of the compound, and chemical properties are the properties which are based on the chemical reactivity or chemical reactions of the compounds. Okay, students. So the first we will discuss physical properties of ammonia. And the first physical property, color, odor, and taste. So ammonia is a colorless, strong, pungent smell, slight alkaline taste gas. So the most important property here is pungent odor of ammonia. So ammonia is a pungent odored gas and slight alkaline in taste. Then physiological nature, ammonia is non-poisonous. If inhaled affects the respiratory system, it is fatal in large doses. So if inhaling of ammonia is taking place in large amount, then it can be fatal also. Then third point, density. Ammonia is lighter than air. Why? Because vapor density of ammonia is 8.5, whereas of air is 14.4. So less the vapor density, less will be weight or mass. More the vapor density, more will be mass. Okay. So that is why, due to less vapor density, ammonia is lighter than air. Solubility, highly soluble in water. Ammonia is highly soluble in water, and one volume of water dissolves about 702 volumes at 20 degrees Celsius and 1 atmosphere pressure. So these conditions are about room conditions. These are the conditions of room condition, and on these conditions one volume of water can dissolve this much volume, 702 volumes of ammonia. Means ammonia gas is highly soluble in water, and this highly solubility in water of ammonia can be shown with the help of a special experiment which is known as fountain experiment. So the high solubility of ammonia in water is demonstrated by the fountain experiment. Fifth point, liquefaction. Ammonia is easily liquefied at low temperature. Now, why ammonia is easily liquefied in comparison to other gases like hydrogen and nitrogen? So you all know that ammonia is made up of one nitrogen and three hydrogen atoms. So one molecule of ammonia is having one nitrogen and three hydrogen atoms. You all know that electronegativity of nitrogen is greater than hydrogen, and that is why these shared pair of electrons of each NH bond are attracted by nitrogen towards itself, due to which this nitrogen attains partial negative charge and related hydrogen attains partial positive charge. And that is why we can say that ammonia is a polar compound. Due to this charge separation, ammonia is a polar compound like HCl. In HCl also, Cl is partially negative and hydrogen is partially positive. So HCl is a polar compound, and same way, due to the partial charge separation, ammonia is also a polar compound. Due to this polarity, one molecule of ammonia can attract other molecule of ammonia towards itself. Means there are intermolecular force of attraction is found between the ammonia molecules, and due to this force of attraction, ammonia is easily liquefiable gas. Next point is boiling point. Liquid ammonia boils at minus 33.5 degrees Celsius, and freezing point, solid NH3 melts at minus 77.7 degrees Celsius. Okay, students. So now we are going to explain high solubility of ammonia with the help of fountain experiment. So fountain experiment demonstrates the high solubility of ammonia gas in water. So experiment is first heading. The high solubility of ammonia gas in water can be demonstrated by the fountain experiment. Now the first heading is apparatus. Dry round bottom flask filled with ammonia gas. So what apparatus we required here for to show the fountain experiment? And the first requirement is round bottom flask, and this round bottom flask should be dry. Why it should be dry? Because we are going to fill ammonia gas inside it. Okay, so if moisture will be present, then ammonia will dissolve in that moisture. So we have to take dry round bottom flask here. The second point, mouth of the flask has a rubber stopper. This is the rubber stopper with two holes for a jet tube. This is the jet tube which is fitted in one hole of the rubber stopper, and dropper containing water. This is a second hole which is fitted with a dropper which is having a small amount of water in it. So this round bottom flask which is dry is fitted with a rubber cork, rubber stopper which is having two holes. So one hole with one glass tube having a jet here, and the other hole with a dropper which is having a small amount of water. Okay, students. The next point, red litmus solution is placed in the trough below, and below to this round bottom flask we have to put a trough which is having red litmus solution, and the last end of this jet tube should be dipped inside the red litmus solution. So this is the arrangement of the apparatus. Now procedure. The dropper containing water is squeezed and the water enters the flask. Now to start experiment, what we have to do? We have to squeeze this dropper, and when we will squeeze this dropper, the amount of water which is present here will come out in this flask. Now in the presence of this water, the ammonia gas which was filled here in this round bottom flask will be dissolved in this water. Okay, students. So the ammonia gas which we have filled here in this round bottom flask, some amount of that ammonia will dissolve in this water. Now observation. Ammonia gas present in the flask dissolves in water due to its high solubility, thereby creating a partial vacuum in the flask. So due to the dissolution of ammonia in water, a partial vacuum or low pressure area will be formed inside the flask. The outside pressure being higher pushes the red litmus solution up the jet tube, which emerges out at the end of the tube as a blue fountain. So, due to the dissolution of ammonia with dissolution of ammonia in this water, the internal pressure of the flask will become low, and the outer pressure or atmospheric pressure is higher than the internal pressure of the flask. So what will happen? This higher outer pressure will push this red litmus solution inside this tube, and this red litmus solution will emerges out from this jet in the form of blue fountain. Inference: ammonia gas is highly soluble in water and basic in nature. So, with the help of this experiment, which what we proved that ammonia is highly soluble, first thing, and the second thing that it is basic in nature. Why? Because red litmus solution is turning blue here. So it means ammonia is basic in nature. Since dry ammonia gas was present in the round bottom flask, the red litmus solution kept in the trough below emerges out as a blue fountain since ammonia is basic. On the other hand, if dry HCl gas was used in the flask instead of ammonia, the blue litmus solution kept in the trough below emerges out as a red fountain since HCl is an acidic gas. Okay, students. So as we proved already, the high solubility of HCl gas in water in our previous chapter. So in that case, what we have taken here? In that case, we have taken here blue litmus solution, and this blue litmus solution is emerges out in the form of red fountain when dry HCl gas was present here. Why red fountain is formed? Because HCl gas is acidic in nature. But in the presence of ammonia inside the flask, red litmus solution emerges out in the form of blue fountain because ammonia gas is basic in nature. So this is the difference between ammonia and HCl gas. Ammonia is basic natured gas, whereas HCl is a acidic natured gas. Okay, students. So this was the fountain experiment. With the help of this experiment, we have proved two qualities or two properties of ammonia. One is its high solubility in water, and second is its basic nature. Okay, students. Now we are moving to next page. Combustibility of ammonia gas. Ammonia gas combustibility. So first point, ammonia is neither combustible nor a supporter of combustion. Reaction with oxygen. This is in your syllabus, reaction with oxygen. Ammonia burns in an atmosphere of oxygen and undergoes catalytic oxidation. So when burning of ammonia in oxygen. So when ammonia burnt in oxygen, nitrogen gas and water vapors are formed. Okay, students, when ammonia burnt in oxygen, nitrogen gas and water vapors are formed. Now, what are the observation in this reaction? So first is dry ammonia gas passed through the ignition tube A and ignited alone does not burn. Okay, students. So ammonia gas does not burn alone. But when we pass oxygen, ammonia burns in an atmosphere of excess of oxygen with a green or greenish yellow flame. So greenish yellow flame of nitrogen gas. With the presence of nitrogen, a greenish yellow flame will form. So what are the products here? Nitrogen plus water vapor. Okay, students. So observation, what is the observation in this reaction? Formation of greenish yellow flame or green flame. Okay, students. So observation and reaction are only in your syllabus. Okay, students, observation and reaction and also conditions. So no specific conditions are given here, only excess of oxygen is there, excess of oxygen. Okay, students. Now next is catalytic oxidation of ammonia. So as name is indicating, this oxidation is taking place in the presence of a catalyst, which is platinum here. So conditions are in the presence of platinum at 800 degrees Celsius. When ammonia reacts with oxygen, it gets converted in the form of nitric oxide, water vapor plus delta, mean evolution of heat energy. So this change is an exothermic reaction. This is an exothermic reaction. So you have to learn all these things which are changing here, means these conditions, gases, and also observation. So the colorless nitric oxide gas formed on oxidation gives reddish brown nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so if we are going to oxidize nitric oxide which is formed here after the catalytic oxidation of ammonia, if you are going to reoxidize this NO with the help of oxygen, then NO converted in the form of reddish brown gas, which is nitrogen dioxide. Then the platinum catalyst continues to glow even after the heating is discontinued. Why? Since the catalytic oxidation of ammonia is an exothermic reaction. So these are the 2 points in your observation. Glowing of platinum wire due to the exothermic nature of the reaction, and the colorless gas which is formed in the reaction, if further oxidized, it converted in the form of nitrogen dioxide, which is a reddish brown gas. Okay, students. So this much in this lecture. Thank you.